Howdy, friars. Welcome to Foundry Demo Day on November 12th here. We're going to be demoing the DETH dashboard improvement, which has a chart that just shows the historical DETH performance. It's interactive, which is nice, as well as the Foundry website. We showed that off last demo day, but it was very rough around the edges there. So we're just going to show off what we've improved there. And then I'll just give a very brief look into what I've been doing with the NIMS recently. I've been reapproaching that project. And maybe talk a little bit about what my motivations there are and why I'm sort of diving back in there. So yeah, we'll start off with Chris demoing the website.
Alrighty. Right, so we changed a few things. The first thing is what we call the navigation element. It was a bit buggy on different devices, and sometimes when you loaded the page, it would just be off center and not load correctly. So what we've done is we've completely rebuilt the component. And as you can see, what it does is if you're on the left and you click on that, it sort of highlights that icon. Same if you click on the right, it will highlight the icon on the right, and so on and so forth. So it will no longer jump between the positions and be confusing. It's basically just makes the one that you're on stand out, and then on mobile, it will center that one. But we've sort of removed and fixed all the weirdness with that. Then as I was clicking, you can also see we added a loader between the pages just to prevent everything from jumping around while the CSS and JavaScript files are still downloading. Yeah, so that's what we did there. On the blog page, we finished the blog and the filters, and it's also able to fetch multiple blogs now. So if I open that, load more button works now, and we also got these filters to work. And if you go into a post, you also see that it shows a related post on the right-hand side within the post. So we also did that. It shows when you posted it, and yeah, those share icons were there already. Then we also added on the post overview, we basically just finished the author and stuff when it was posted. So it shows all of that. And yeah, we changed the roadmap quite a bit. So there were a few issues, especially with the bullets, which we fixed on the roadmap page. So that should be all done now, and we formatted the content nicely. And on the team or about us page, we also fixed the team images as well as this section that was also problematic on mobile. So this should also be fixed, and these icons are also fixed now. So yeah, in general, we spent some time this week and we polished the whole site. There's one or two more things we want to do, but they're not major. So it should now work on all devices and all desktops, and all the content should display correctly. So we're basically done. I think the only big major thing we still want to add is analytics tracking to all of the different pages and stuff on the site. So we'll also be spending some time on that next week. Unfortunately, that's not going to be something we can demo. I mean, something in the back end, so we can tell everybody we did it, but nothing visual to show, just to track the users. So that's pretty much it for the Foundry site. Onto the new Leverly DETH dashboard. What we've changed this week is to change the way in which we show the price predictions. Now, we did briefly show throughout the week, but I'll just go more into what this does. So you can put in the ETH amount, and what the graph does is it tries to detect a change and then reloads slightly after you made your change. So you can basically go here and select a bunch of dates. So let's say I want to see from the 1st of October until the 12th of November, then it shows that. And what we also did is we added the slider. Now it's not 100% done yet, but instead of selecting the ranges at the top, you can also now slide this around and actually select the range in which you want the price to see the price. So what it then does is for that range, it overlays DETH onto ETH and shows you what you would have gained.
Yeah.
So that was just a very nice way to navigate the page.
Yeah, and so this is really nice because we're still working on how to summarize exactly what the DETH position does. It's clear that it does something quite valuable. It basically hyper exposes you to ETH growth, but it's a little more complicated than just squaring your ETH gains like we used to think. So this chart is a nice way where you can go in here and you can, the green line being the ETH price, you can say, okay, what if I bought at this height, let's say near the September, and then I sold exactly what Chris just showed. So that's like a bad case of deep. So you could see how bad it would be. Or you could start from a dip and go to, or yeah, you could just show, I think Chris is going to show the majority of the position. So you can say, okay, and you can, and then the summary at the top of the chart, which maybe we can move somewhere else, just gives you sort of the final stats of whatever position you're looking at, or whatever, I guess I should say, whatever date range of holding ETH you're looking at. So there you can see in that case, the ETH, that you have a 44% growth in ETH underlying, which is of course 127% growth in the final dollar amount of the position. And again, that's assuming 5 Ether, as Chris put in there at the top.
Yeah,
So that's
so you would have gained
mhm.
0.21 by using ETH, as you can see the final ETH
Yeah.
amount. So you would have deposited 5 and then walked away with 7.21. And what we also changed here is we added the dollar prices. We made the grid with way less lines, and we also, instead of showing all the dates, we just added the months in which you can do it. So that just looks a lot neater.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing we changed on here is also when you scroll down, you actually want to deposit, you had to see that the Wallet Connect button is at the top right, which wasn't always apparent. So what we did is we overlaid it onto the ETH dashboard section over here, just to make it very easy for you to see that you have to connect the wallet before using this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We
Yeah.
also, yeah.
Oh, I was just maybe you were going to go here too, but I was just going to say we're ready to market ETH now. We're just waiting on the PR agency that has our article. They have everything that they need now to post to the different sites that they're going to post to. So everything's ready. We're just waiting on them to pull that trigger. So any
Yeah,
day
another
now.
thing I just wanna-
Mhm.
yeah, we have it on our sprint in next week to also make the styling of this a bit better. This is still very raw, but we wanted to at least just get the functional thing looking semi-fine and get it out. And then we'll be spending some time within the week to do the styling. I'm envisioning maybe these blocks at the top will be sort of little bubbles with that turn red or green, depending on whether you would have made a loss or a profit, just to make everything a bit more visual. So we will be spending some time to get that to look quite nicely. But for now, it does work and it does look reasonable. We also made sure it looks fine on mobile. And therefore we decided to publish the article to notify the guys, obviously. So what actually happened there is we notified them a few days ago already, but then yesterday suddenly came back and said, well, we also want an image for the blog sites. So we had to quickly just design one today, which we sent off to them. And yeah, we gave them the go ahead. Maybe I could just quickly, I did share it in the community, but I can quickly go through the list of sites where we are actually publishing the article. So the first one is beincrypto.com. We're going to publish on bitcoin.com, coingape.com, ambcrypto.com, Coin Codex, Bitcoinist, and professional, and then the writing of the professional journalist. So it's going to go on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sites. I think that's pretty much it in terms of these and the website. Let me see if I missed anything on the list. We did some stuff on permapost. We implemented. Oh, we also on the site we fixed the markdown. So there was some instances on the site where the links,
The website, yeah, the
Foundry site links
Yeah.
to certain things didn't work, which we fixed.
Yeah.
And oh, that's what I wanted to mention. We changed the graph, the subgraph, to a production URL with caching, which is much faster now. You'll see that last week ETH was taking a long time to load. Now it's very responsive,
Yeah.
loading the results quite quickly, and it's because we really optimized the performance on there as well. So we also spent some time on that in the week. And I think that's pretty much it from my side.
Cool. So I'll just show something quickly here. Let me just get my demo page open here. So sorry. Just trying to get this open. So people who've been around a while may have heard about the NIMS project. This is basically an experimental NFT. Oh, am I going to be able to demo this? Yes, hold on, sorry, just a second. There we go. So we want to, what I'm doing essentially research into by trying to code it out is if we can take the if we can build NIMs that are a set of NIMs, sort of like the Bored Apes Yacht Club and all that, but rather than have artwork that's composed of different pieces, you know, you have like the bubblegum Bored Ape and you have the guy with different hair. These are things artists draw. Rather take the data of, it's just sort of the semi-random data and actually generate a 3D face that looks like some kind of animal. So these are not going to be things that are sort of hand drawn. It's going to be a face that will look like a fox or look like an alligator or whatever, but that's just because that's how the emergent sort of randomness of the algorithm computes. And these will stylistically end up they'll look like you know, the masks that and that people put on, their like animal masks, and you can put them on to, like, you know, hide your identity or whatever. So that's the style we're going for, and I think we could really get something cool there. And then of course, OpenSea and all these things supports 3D rendering, so we could sell essentially an NFT that looks like a 3D object, and each one is extremely unique. And it's not like an artist went and made the pieces; it's actually very much more unique than that. And you could in theory make an infinite number of these, and they would actually never collide. So yeah, I'll just show briefly what that looks like now. It looks like almost nothing because I've had to restart this from scratch a couple of times as I try to sort through the complexities of building a random 3D polygon from the start. But right now I just finished sort of getting the eyes down. I started with the basic structure once. I started with the brow line once, and each one I had to stop and back up. So now I'm starting from the eyes. I'm going to be working out now. So each of these eyes, and I haven't even touched the colors yet. Yeah, I'm going to start building the face out from these now. I'm just now working on the angling of these. So some of these guys would have eyes more on the top of their head like an alligator, and some of them would have more on the side. And you can see as of right now, with just this little bit, I've used 19 bits of, my goal is to use 255 bits because that's how much a hash uses. And hashes are, plausibly uncollidable. So once I've consumed 255 bits into the structure and color of these guys, you'll have an essentially infinite or nearly infinite number of these NIMs that could be made. That's NYM as in pseudonym. And they would never collide, so you'd get your own unique little guy. Anyway, yeah, that's the progress there. You can imagine that when we launched these, you could go to a site where we're essentially auctioning off 9 of these at any given time. And then that profit, of course, would go to Foundry. And yeah, that's it for that. The only other thing I'll say there is that I'm really excited about if we can get this to look good. These could be essentially tickets into governing Foundry. And what's cool about that is that as you interact on the forum, everyone would have one of these NIMs. Similar, I'm assuming, to what the Bored Apes Yacht Club does with their communities. But what I'm excited about there is these NIMs, I think, will sort of, at a very intuitive level, speak to pseudonymity. You know, you have a fox face or an alligator face, and that's your identity there. And then so to bring that as your ticket into governing Foundry, I think really lines up with the idea of Foundry valuing pseudonymity from its users and from its voters. So yeah, and I'm excited to push it forward. I still don't know how much work it'll take, but it's definitely worth me pushing at it and seeing if I can get this, get it complete. So that's what I've been working on.
Righty.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to demo.
I think that's it. Nothing else
Cool.
from my side.
All right, cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.